73 here, getting it ready for James Goff and his qualifying heat races tonight. Stan Wetmore, 73, not a competitor entered in this event. He's just out for some hot laps here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Parts Plus Auto Parts Stores, Miller's Market, fog delayed modified feature from last week. We're underway. A major incident here on the front straightaway involving practically the entire field. Contact up on the front row on the initial green flag, causing this incident and setting everyone scrambling here, and quite a bit of damage on the red car. So we are into a track block situation. And the red flag coming out on this one. Red flag coming out. Red lights have been displayed as the track is completely blocked down here at the head of the front straightaway. It'll take quite some time to get this mess untangled. Need to have pit row clear. 99, Dickie Larkin, 24. And it looks like the pace car is in at turn 4. Let's look for a good start here. Matt Higgins has them in hand. Green flag is out. We're underway. Up into turn number 1. Look out, Jody Tornaby down in the Jersey barrier down here in front. And they scramble up through turns 1 and 2. A charge on the back straightaway. Tornabene with the 2 car comes to a standstill down on the inside of turn number 1. Meanwhile, they scramble up in the west end. Hang on here down in front. Tornabene continues rolling slowly through the east end. We stay under green flag racing conditions. Your leader is the 94, Glenn Grossyoung, with the Coors 94. He shows the way. The 97 of Donnie Actor settles down to the number 2 spot. Kenny Tremont there for third now. In fourth spot is Guy Sheldon with the S car. As they round the corner down here in front, now taking over fifth quickly is the Budweiser 3 of Brett Hearn. Brett the Jet up to the number 5 running position with 2 laps complete. In sixth spot is Dickie Larkin. Now running in 7th would be Maynard Ferret with a 78 and a 22 car of Ken Morse. The 47 of Todd Wilkinson and the 55 of Mike King. Off of turn 4, down here in front, Glenn Grossyoung showing the way. Now that number 2 position, the 97 of Don Ackner. He settles right in there, a couple car lengths off the back bumper of Glenn Grossyoung. Kenny Tremont next in line as they run single file fashion up into turn 3. Ackner tightening up a bit. Kenny Tremont does the same. They get a few car lengths back here to the 4th place run by the S car. This is the Saxton sign entry for Guy Sheldon as yellow flag comes out. Caution on the speedway. 4 laps now showing complete. Here at the speedway, the Sand Lake Slingshot, Kenny Tremont. With the Emmerich Associates S&S Asphalt Paving 115 car. Ready to go back to it here. Tonight's Parts Plus Auto Parts Store, Miller's Market. Modified feature. Green flag is out. Scrambling down the front straightaway. Brett Hearn inside, outside, way wide up in turn number 2. Look at that momentum off the corner, down the back straightaway. The lane disappears. The 94, Glenn Grossyoung, stays on in front, but we go quickly back to yellow flag here for an incident up in turn 1. And once again, we've got 6 cars now. Another big accident. 6 cars involved up in the east end.
So yellow comes out. A half a dozen race cars sit down here in the east end banking.
From the 5th position with the Saxton sign, Spitzy's Harley-Davidson S car. And then Dickie Larkin, the 2-time High Point champion with the Rathbones Village Variety Tryon Construction 99 car. Dickie Larkin starting from 6th. The team going for Thunderbird pace car. Sailing in off of turn number 4. Matt Higgins, green flag in hand, looking him over up there in turn number 4 as they come down 2 by 2 by 2 off of turn 4. Down into the front straightaway, restarting area, and green is back out, and we're back underway with this modified main. Charging up into turn number 1, Glenn Grossyoung will lead. Donnie Ackner right alongside there. Brett Hearn trying to make it 3 wide. Up to the top side goes Kenny Tremont. Sand Lake Slingshot, slingshotting off of turn 2 down that back straightaway. Trying to pick off number 2 spot, knocking on the back bumper. Now splits the difference, threads the needle up there in turn 3. Kenny Tremont takes over the lead. The Sand Lake Slingshot in command now with the Emmerich Associates 115 car. He's out in front. Glenn Grossyoung back in the number 2 spot. Brett the Jet working there in the number 3 position. Gets that outside run going around the 94. He will take over the number 2 position down that back straightaway. Tremont out in front. Brett Hearn riding in second spot. Glenn Grossyoung there for third. Donnie Ackner fourth. Dickie Larkin now into the top 5. Off of 4 down here in front, charging hard. Kenny Tremont and Brett Hearn, 1 and 2 they run. 6 laps now showing complete. Glenn Grossyoung in the number 3 spot. Donnie Ackner there for 4th. Dickie Larkin pulls in line as they run down that back straightaway. He's 5th. Back in 6th spot is Guy Sheldon. In 7th is Maynard Ferret. Taking over 8th now is Donnie Grelis. In 9th is Robbie Pitcher. And the 24 car of John Hewitt completing the top 10. Coming by down in front, Kenny Tremont continues to lead with the 115 car. The Sand Lake Slingshot out in front. It's about 3 car lengths back to the 3 car. The Budweiser King of Beers entry for Brett the Jet Hearn running in a number 2 spot. And both of those front 2 cars start to open up ground over now 3rd place man, the 94 of Glenn Grossyoung. Grossyoung rides back there in number 3 position. Don Ackner still close by in number 4 spot. Chasing him here down the front straightaway up into turn number 1. Grossyoung rides in 3rd. Donnie Ackner in 4th. Ackner trying to take that little lower line through the corner down the back straightaway. See if he can gain some ground. But Glenn Grossyoung, lots of speed here. Running strong with the lead cars in tonight's modified main. Back in 5th spot continues to be Dickie Larkin with the Rathbones Village Variety car. As Larkin's there for 5th, and right behind him, Guy Sheldon with the S-car riding in 6th. Up in front, it's all Kenny Tremont now as we work lap number 10 down the back straightaway. Now 1/3 the way through tonight's Parts Plus Auto Parts Store Miller's Market main event. Kenny Tremont comfortably in command. Brett Hearn in that number 2 spot. Unable to do anything with Tremont here as they now close in on a couple slower lap cars that stay down to the inside. The Mark Bird car going down the lap, as does the 99 of Jeremy Matthews. Tremont hurting those 2 cars down a lap. Brett Hearn there back in the number 2 spot now. He's about 10 car lengths behind your leader, Tremont. Tremont with a bit of breathing room here. Some green flag racing and clear sailing directly ahead for the 115 of Kenny Tremont. He'll next have a group of 3 cars to work with. Slower lap traffic down that back straightaway. Tremont, your leader. Brett Hearn, the number 2 spot. And yellow lights coming out on the speedway for a car spinning down in turn 2. That's going to bring out the yellow lights here. Yellow flag coming out. A bid with only 1 feature event victory to his credit here in 1997. Although he's been out of the top 10 on only 2 occasions. Out of the 18 events we've run here in 1997, 16 top 10 performances for the 115. Back to green flag. Kenny Tremont leads up into turn 1. Brett Hearn diving down to the inside. Here's the Jersey Jet trying to work something down low. Can't make it work. Sticking to the inside, so he pulls it back in lane down the back straightaway. Tucks in line up into turn 3. Donnie Ackner in that number 3 running spot. Dickie Larkin takes over 4th now. So Larkin comes up to 4th. And out cracking the top 5 is Guy Sheldon with the S-car. Getting shuffled back to 6th is the Coors entry, the 94 of Glenn Grossyoung running back in 6th spot. Alongside of him now, side-to-side racing going on there with Maynard Ferret, the Cyclone out of Amsterdam. He can't quite keep it there, and now Rob Pitcher gets a run going down to the inside of Ferret. So Robbie Pitcher moving down low with the Z1 racing entry. The Z1 car of Robbie Pitcher takes that spot away from Maynard Ferret, 78, and behind him, the open-air 24 of John Hewitt. Out in command, out in front, the 115, Kenny Tremont shows the way to Brett Hearn down that back straightaway. Hearn in the number 2 position, unable to keep up with the high-flying Tremont here in this first of 2 modified events here this evening. Back in 3rd spot continues to be Donnie Ackner, the Teal Pro car, the Baldwin Masonry entry. Car number 97 for Donnie Ackner there for 3rd. And once again, we go to yellow flag. And the problem here on the Z1 machine, Rob Pitcher coming to a stop down in front.
Well, just as the
Number 2 of 1997 here with the Fane Concrete Emmerich Associates S&S Asphalt Paving Car. The 115 out of West Sand Lake, New York. Kenny Tremont, the driver. And we're ready to go back to racing green. It comes out. Up into turn 1. Kenny Tremont and Brett Hearn. 1 and 2 they ride. Up into turn 2. Tremont trips up the banking a little bit. Opened up the inside lane for Brett Hearn. Hearn trying to take advantage. Could not do so. So he pulls in line, and Dickie Larkin gets another spot on that restart. Larkin up to third. He now challenges Brett Hearn off of turn number 4. Here comes Dickie Larkin. Larkin with a 99 riding there in the number 3 spot. Back and forth goes the 97 of Don Ackner. In 5th continues to be the S-car of Guy Sheldon. Up in front, it's all Kenny Tremont with Brett Hearn giving chase down that back straightaway. And there in the number 3 spot is Dickie Larkin as Larkin starts to close it up a bit on your front 2 lead cars. Larkin charging in turn number 4 off the corner down here in front, coming by the complete lap number 16. We've now gone past White Point in tonight's Parts Plus Auto Parts Stores modified feature. Brett Hearn, a good run through turn number 2 that time. Looked like he gained some ground on Kenny Tremont as he tries to close in on the back bumper once again. It does so. He's there a couple car lengths behind now with a 3. Tremont, though, continues to lead. Hearn in that number 2 spot. Dickie Larkin still there for 3rd. Donnie Ackner and Guy Sheldon in 5th. In 6th spot is Glenn Grossyoung. Now John Hewitt in the 24 car, the convertible here, not taking the roof off. He's there to challenge the 94 of Grossyoung for the number 6 spot as Hewitt rides in the number 7 position. Back at 8th is Maynard Ferrett. Gary Waters shows in 9th, and the 47 of Todd Wilkinson completing your top 10. Coming by to put the Butler Buildings 10 car, Chris Ford down the lap, is Kenny Tremont and the rest of the lead cars. Down that back straightaway. Single file fashion. No change amongst the lead automobiles here of Tremont, Hearn, Larkin, and Ackner. They run 1, 2, 3, 4 just that way through turn 4. Off the corner, down here in front, clicking off another lap is Kenny Tremont. Very hot ahead of the field here tonight. Brett Hearn, who has had the hot hand in 1997, a 10-time feature event winner, unable to keep up with the pace being turned in tonight by Kenny Tremont. The early feature on tonight's program being brought to you by Parts Plus Auto Parts Stores and Miller's Market. Delayed from last Saturday night, running early on the schedule here this evening, and Kenny Tremont likes it as he leads with 2/3 of this event complete now. 20 laps are in, and for Kenny Tremont. Tremont continues to show strong in front of the field with Hearn all in that number 2 spot. Keeps him in sight, but that's about all he can do. Unable to mount a bid for the lead on the 115. So Hearn continues to ride back in 2nd spot. Dickie Larkin still there for 3rd. Donnie Ackner 4th as we go yellow on the speedway. Caution lights coming out. Car sitting down at the end of the front straightaway here. Entering turn number...
The field at the rear and red lights are out. We're ready to go green this time by.
21 laps complete. Green flag coming back out now here as we go back to racing green. And once again, Brett Hearn tries to get a run down to the inside. Then he swaps lanes, moves up to the top side. Tries to get that momentum going through turn number 2 as Kenny Tremont leads the field down the back straightaway. Tremont's been strong to every challenge so far. Now Brett Hearn lets him know he's there as he taps on the back bumper. Tremont on the lead. Hearn in on number 2 spot. Dickie Larkin still there for 3rd. The front 2 now quickly opening up ground away from Dickie Larkin's machine. So 2-car breakaway up in front, Tremont and Hearn. Brett Hearn again got that run going through turn number 2. Now tries to pull up to the top side. Cannot find the racing room up there in the Tremont car. Again, pressing hard up into turn 3. Brett Hearn letting Kenny Tremont know he wants to go. Kenny Tremont, Brett Hearn still 1 and 2 here. A great race right up in front as we move to the final stages of tonight's Parts Plus modified feature. Again, getting that good run through turn 2 is the 3-car of the Jersey Jet, Brett Hearn. Hearn trying to do everything he can to find racing room past the 9-time champion here at the Speedway, Kenny Tremont. The Sand Lake Slingshot has been strong to every advance so far, and now starts to open up ground on the Hearn car. Kenny Tremont pulls away from Brett Hearn. Now Hearn again gets that good speed off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Let's see if he can once again close ground. Dickie Larkin is right there as well. He is not to be counted out here. The Larkin car rides in 3rd spot. Off of turn 4 down here in front. This time 25 laps are complete and 5 remain for Kenny Tremont. The Sand Lake Slingshot running strong at the head of the field, continuing to lead here. Brett Hearn, the Jersey Jet, rides in at number 2 spot. Then it's Dickie Larkin, the veteran campaigner out of Sheffield, Massachusetts, with a Tryon Construction Rathbones Village Variety 99 car. He rides there in a number 3 running position, followed by Don Ackner back and forth. Guy Sheldon, Hollywood Guy, still back in the number 5 running spot. That's how your top 5 run here as they work through the East End banking. Working lap 27 down the back straightaway, Kenny Tremont. Again, Brett Hearn starts to stalk the 115. The Jersey Jet going to try to make a last lap run here on your leader, Tremont. As they come by, now 3 laps remain for Tremont and Hearn. Have a couple slower cars directly ahead. That time slipping up a little bit. Your leader allows Brett Hearn to move in. So again, Brett Hearn closes ground on the 115 of Kenny Tremont. through turn number 4. Lap car staying down to the inside here in the front straightaway. Putting him down a lap is Tremont. 2 to go. 28 are in, 2 remain for Kenny Tremont at the head of the field. Again, slipping up the banking in turn number 2. That's where Brett Hearn seems to be the fastest, and Tremont struggling a little bit with that corner. Down the back straightaway, putting the 60 car down the lap. Tremont and Hearn ride 1 and 2. This time around, it's going to be white flag here for the 115 of Kenny Tremont. White flag being displayed. Tremont and Hearn on the final circuit now through the east end. Down that long back straightaway at Lebanon Valley Speedway, the 115, Kenny Tremont, 9-time High Point champion, looking to put another notch in the belt here in 1997 as Tremont rides high off of turn 4. Down here in front, checkered flag is out. Kenny Tremont wins it, beating Brett the Jet Hearn in second. Dickie Larkin finishing in third with Don Ackner fourth, and the Hollywood Guy Sheldon S car across the stripe in fifth. Strapping in the car now, race fans climbing out of the cockpit. Tonight's first modified winner, Kenny Tremont. Kenny Tremont putting the Thane Concrete S&S Asphalt Paving Emmerich Associates 115 in victory lane. And Kenny Tremont, we got a crowd down here, man. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a trying year. We've been trying awfully hard, and tonight worked out great.
Well, no question about it working out great. You said you're trying very hard. It's been a tough year. Although you've had a lot of top 10 finishes, the victories have been kind of short this year.
Yeah, this is our second victory here, and we've been consistent, but just not a real fast race car. And tonight things were better. I don't know how things would have been if everybody had finished, without the wreck in the front stretch, but it felt a lot better tonight than it has in the past.
Obviously, a lot of changes on the car getting you out here, and of course, staying ahead of the 3 car.
That's for sure. We've been working at it, and nothing that we've ever tried all year long has really helped us. And we've been trying to go back to the basics that we had last year, and that didn't work. So, just been trying a little bit here, a little bit there, and all in all, it felt pretty good tonight. I don't know the second feature. I don't know if we're going to have to go any faster or not, but it's a business where you just have to keep trying.
How about the changes you made this week to get it this close, though?
Well, actually, we made them a couple weeks ago, and then it rained out last week. So I was kind of anxious to try it last week, even though we got fogged out. So. It's it's a tough business.
Oh, it's a tough business. Awfully tough to beat Brett Hearn down here in 1997, but you did it tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank. I had some fans come down and give me some support all through the year, and they say don't give up and don't give up. But I know this, like I said, it's gonna be a tough business, but the people around it are awful nice.
Well, there's no question about that. A lot of great race fans here at Lebanon Valley Speedway. We congratulate you on win number 2. We got a long program to get ahead here. Before we wrap things up, they give us a bank bag tonight, Kenny, for our Busch Beer Big A Auto Parts Fan Appreciation Award. Everybody who voted for starting spot number 14 tonight is in the running. We'll read that. We'll let you get out on victory lane. Thanks, Kenny. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good luck in our second feature tonight.
Have your attention with Marilyn Emmerich. Please report to the starter stand. Marilyn Emmerich, please report to the starter stand.
And our Busch Beer Big A Auto Parts Fan Appreciation Award winner is Hugh Johnston. Hugh Johnston from Bristol, Connecticut. Thanks to Kenny Tremont, you're the Big A Auto Parts Busch Beer Fan Appreciation Award winner here this evening. You can see Howard Potter up in suite number 4 after victory lane is concluded down here trackside. Hugh Johnston of Bristol, Connecticut, our Fan Appreciation Award winner tonight for the first time. We'll have another one later on after the second modified feature.
So as the Victory Lane accolades continue down here for Kenny Tremont Jr. making his way into Victory Lane for the second time this season. Family and sponsor shots being taken. The crew also lined up ready for the photographs. All lined up and ready to go. The held over IMCA modified feature event down here on pit road. That'll be making its way out onto the speedway next. A big night of racing coming at you here by way of the two fogged out feature events from last week. The modified and IMCA modified feature events being held over due to the fog rolling in after the lengthy rain delay last week as well. A lot of you fans were with us, and of course, once again, as we did last week, we certainly thank you for your cooperation and patience with us through the rain delay and now the postponement, bringing on a week's delay here, but going to make for a big show tonight on this big Labor Day weekend. Hope everybody enjoying their Labor Day weekend so far. As the racing, certainly plenty of it to be seen. Tomorrow, the Dirt Squad making their way out to the New York State Fairgrounds for the New York State Fair Championship race out at the Moody Mile. And tomorrow night at the Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. Monday night at the Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. But plenty of action to be seen for the rest of this weekend. But we still got quite a bit of it coming up here on tonight's program.
In row 13, the 22 of Ken Morse and the 47 of Todd Wilkinson. Green flag is out and we're underway. The Pepsi-Cola modified feature up in a turn one. We've got a car sideways. It's the 2 of Jody Tornabene. And he winds up collecting several other cars up there in the east end. Our green flag is out and we are underway. Up in a turn number one, Eddie Marshall takes command. The Kingfish, Mike King, settles into number 2 spot. We've got 3 wide racing through turn number 2. Oh, hang on. Contact off the corner down that back straightaway. Everybody does hang on. We stay green flag down the back straightaway. Up in a turn 3, Mike Benson way up high, kicks up the rooster tail here. And we've got to scramble off the corner down here in front. A bodacious racing going on in the top 10. Eddie Marshall shows the way to the field. Mike King kicks up the rooster tail next off of turn 2. Here comes Donnie Corellis charging down the inside. Corellis with a Reifenberg 57 making that move. He takes over the number 2 spot. So Corellis up to second. Mike King back to third. King will try to battle him back on the inside. Back into number 4 spot is Gary Waters. In 5th is Mike Benson. Side-to-side race for 6th place here between Rich Rickey and Brett Hearn. The Jet works up to the top side. Rich Rickey works down low. He makes it stick down to the inside. The fall fitting steel fabricating 55 car will now work with the 33 of Mike Benson. Meanwhile, Brett Hearn still up on the top side as they are there together. The 2 red cars, Rich Rickey and Brett Hearn. Now Brett Hearn makes the outside in maneuver up into turn 1. The Jersey Jet moving past the 55 of Rich Rickey. So now it's Brett Hearn up to 6th spot. Meanwhile, checking out on the field is the 98 of Eddie Marshall. He's got a big lead over 2nd place man Donnie Corellis. Back in 3rd spot. There off the corner is Mike King. King still in number 3 position. Gary Waters in 4th. A good early race run for Waters. Mike Benson and Brett Hearn now ride side to side. Hearn on the inside lane. Benson on the outside. Mike Benson will pull Brett Hearn down that back straightaway. Mike Benson getting the job done ahead of the Budweiser 3 off of turn number 4. Down here in front, close quarters racing action between the 93 of Gary Waters, the 33 of Mike Benson, and the 3 car of Brett Hearn. Now Benson will dip to the inside of Gary Waters. Can't make it work down there. Brett Hearn will slingshot off the corner. He gets a run down to the inside of Mike Benson to make that pass for position. Benson will battle him back as he dips to the inside up in turn number 4. Eddie Marshall continues to lead. Donnie Corellis in 2nd. Mike King 3rd. No change there, but Brett Hearn now cracks into the top 5. The Jersey Jet rides to number 5 position. He's going after 4th from Gary Waters here as Brett Hearn works with the Magna Rust Ignition 93 car down that back straightaway. Waters in fourth, Hearn in fifth, Mike Benson in sixth spot, Rich Ricky in seventh. Guy Sheldon back in eighth. Jack Cottrell now takes the number 9 position, and completing the top 10 is the 42 of Steve Devine. Your leader down the back straightaway continues to be the Marshall Oil Company, number 98 of Eddie Marshall. Marshall giving chase after the $5,000 payday tonight being provided by Hauser Mechanical Contracting. Eddie Marshall leads lap number 8, scored into the books. Running in second spot is Donnie Corellis. Mike King there for third, and now Brett Hearn has moved past the Gary Waters car. Hearn is up to fourth spot. Waters back to fifth. Mike Benson rides in sixth. Rich Ricky in seventh. Here's Benson dealing down to the inside of the West End banking. Giving chase off of turn 4 down here in front. He pulls to the rear deck of the 93 of Gary Waters. Rich Ricky closing ground on him as well. Now working lap number 10 down the back straightaway into lap traffic. The 98 of Eddie Marshall goes. He puts the 22 car of Ken Morris down a lap off the banking down here in front. We're now 1/3 of the way through tonight's 30-lap main event of the evening at Pepsi-Cola Modified Feature, paying $5,000 to the winner. Eddie Marshall leads lap number 10 down the back straightaway. He's got the Hulls Electric 71B car. Mark Bird directly ahead puts the Mark Bird car down a lap. Donnie Corellis still in second spot. Now the race for third place. Mike King's got that position, but Brett Hearn has come to him. Hearn and King slam together off of turn 4. Mike King fights off the charge of the Jersey Jet. Brett Hearn will take the butt car down to the inside. King backs it in the corner in turn 2, and Brett Hearn will make that pass off the corner. On the back straightaway, Brett Hearn and Mike King, they're now third and fourth on the field. Second in line, directly ahead, is the Reifenberg Construction 57 car. And Brett Hearn sets his sights on Donnie Corellis. Up into turn number 1. Hearn rides in third. Donnie Corellis is second. Ahead of him, and Hearn is eating up that ground as he closes in on the rear deck of the Donnie Corellis car. Mike King back in fourth. Good ride for him tonight. Gary Waters as well. Good performance here, riding in the number 5 position. Guy Sheldon back in 6th. Rich Ricky in 7th. Mike Benson shows in the number 8 position. Now up to the number 9 spot, cracking the top 10 is Chris Moore. And Kenny Tremont with a 1:15 has done the same. On the lead, it's Eddie Marshall down in the West End banking. Down in the front straightaway, your leader. He's got just about a full straightaway lead over second place man Donnie Corellis. Corellis holds that number 2 spot. And now Brett Hearn has come to Corellis. He drives to the inside to make that pass. Down to the inside, cannot do it as Donnie Corellis stays in the fast lane to hold on to the number 2 spot. Off of turn 4, down here in front, 15 laps now complete. It's halfway. 15 are in and 15 to go for Eddie Marshall, chasing after a $5,000 payday tonight. Now the race for the number 2 spot. Brett Hearn again to the inside of Donnie Corellis, working the inside lane. Corellis now gets passed by Brett Hearn. Hearn making that inside pass through the east end. Donnie Corellis trying to come back at him as Hearn has got that number 2 position. Ken Morris with a 22 car rolls slowly down here in front. Looks like he's going to drop from this event. Eddie Marshall continues to lead. Now Brett Hearn rides in the number 2 position. Donnie Corellis there for 3rd. Mike King 4th. And riding back at the number 5 spot is Gary Waters. And that's where the race is now in the race for 5th position. Gary Waters has got that spot. Hollywood Guy Sheldon directly behind him with a Saxton Sign S car. And it is Mike Benson. And things really tighten up behind him. Rich Ricky, Chris Moore, and Kenny Tremont at the end of that pack. The race for 5th spot, Hollywood Guy Sheldon trying to make the pass down to the inside of Gary Waters. He's going to do it off of turn 2. And now it's Guy Sheldon into the top 5 for the first time this evening. Hollywood Guy Sheldon with a Saxton Sign S car. He takes over 5th spot. Mike Benson battling back around the 93 of Gary Waters. And Brett Hearn slows. Up in turn number 2, Brett Hearn brings out the yellow flag. A problem on the Budweiser King of Beers Auto Palace number 3. And Hearn's in behind the wall. Yellow flag is out.
So as lap 18 clicks off, the Budweiser King of Beers number 3 comes behind the wall for a right rear tire change. And as this event headed towards the 2/3 mark, Brett Hearn was probably hoping for a caution to reel in Eddie Marshall's lead. but he was not hoping to be the reason for that caution. Eddie Marshall not wanting to see a caution, but this is the lesser of two evils for Eddie Marshall. As Brett Hearn has now made the tire change, he will pull away with the Budweiser King of Beers number 3. Tack on to the rear of this field and go back to work.
So far here tonight, starting up on the front row, we've got 18 in, 12 remaining. Eddie Marshall looking for win number 1 of 1997. It's been a struggling year for the young campaigner out of Pound Ridge. Looks for a $5,000 payday. As the green comes back out, we're back underway. Donnie Corellis in the number 2 spot. Here's Hollywood Guy Sheldon moving past Mike King. He takes over 3rd. Mike King back to 4th. Mike Benson up to the top 5 here. The Benson Family Restaurant 33 car running real strong. And Benson in the top 5. Gary Waters, a great performance as well out here tonight. Waters coming into it. Rich Ricky is right there as well. Up in a turn number 1, Eddie Marshall continues to lead. Guy Sheldon trying to catch the 57 of Donnie Corellis. Corellis is strong to that challenge. Corellis hangs on to number 2 spot. Sheldon there for 3rd in a side-to-side race for 4th place between Mike King and Mike Benson. Sheldon a little wide that time, up the back. He got into the loose stop, and we've got cars together up into the wall in the west end. 2 cars together up between turns 3 and 4. That's the reason for the yellow flag here. Caution coming out. 2 cars colliding up in the west end.
First of those 2 automobiles to pull away is the Baldwin Masonry, number 97, of Donnie Ackner. Ackner pulled
2/3 of the way through, 10 to go for Eddie Marshall, and a $5,000 payday thanks to Hauser Mechanical Contracting as we go to green. Eddie Marshall, Donnie Corellis, Hollywood Guy Sheldon. Corellis down to the inside. He pulls Eddie Marshall in a bid for the lead. Side-to-side race, Eddie Marshall and Donnie Corellis. Corellis down to the inside. Eddie Marshall up in the groove, gonna battle him back, and he is back into the lead. Donnie Corellis in the number 2 spot. A good, strong challenge there. The Hollywood Guy Sheldon car, the yes car. Here comes Corellis again, up to the inside of Eddie Marshall, but Marshall again will fight off that challenge. Great race in action right up in front between these Valley competitors, as Eddie Marshall is fighting a push on the Marshall Oil Company number 98, and Donnie Corellis is trying to take advantage. Hollywood Guy Sheldon, the Saxon Finance car, is poised right there in the number 3 spot. Mike Benson rides in 4th. Side-to-side race for 5th place. Got a car turned around in turn number 2, and that brings out yellow flag. So caution coming out for a car. Special has been up in front, and Donnie Corellis has been there the challenge. Let's see what happens now, the final 8 here as we get ready to go back to green. Up in a turn 1, Eddie Marshall, Donnie Corellis, Hollywood Guy Sheldon, Mike Benson pulls alongside. Donnie Corellis trying to get that wheel underneath. Marshall cannot do it there. Marshall strong to that challenge. Donnie Corellis again driving hard up in a turn number 3. Corellis trying to make that inside lane work for him. Eddie Marshall in command. Now Guy Sheldon comes down to the inside of Donnie Corellis in a bid for the number 2 spot. Here's Guy Sheldon and Donnie Corellis side to side. Guy Sheldon and Donnie Corellis. Corellis going to battle him off down the back straightaway. Corellis hanging on the number 2 spot. Guy Sheldon there for 3rd. Chris Moore up into the top 5. The Dutton Garfield car. Chris Moore on a tear as he climbs up to position number 4. Mike Benson rides in 5th. Back in 6th spot is Rich Ricky, and a side-to-side race for 7th place between John Hewitt and Mike King, the 224 cars. Down that back straightaway, Chris Moore may have the fastest car on the speedway now as he goes after 3rd place from Guy Sheldon. Chris Moore diving down to the inside. He tries to make something work down there, cannot do it, pulls it in line here in front. The Butler Building 10 car, Chris Moore on the move. He rides in the number 4 spot. Mike Bateson back in 5th. Rich Ricky in 6th position here. In 7th spot is Mike King. Riding in 8th is Kenny Tremont. Up to 9th now after the flat tire is Brett Hearn. And John Hewitt completes the top 10. Off the corner down here in front. This time by 26 laps are in. 4 remain for Eddie Marshall. Shooting after a $5,000 payday. Donnie Corellis still in the number 2 spot. Chris Moore and Guy Sheldon, a good side-to-side race for 3rd place. Guy Sheldon And Chris Moore had the spot there briefly. Guy Sheldon battled him back to regain the number 3 running spot. That puts Moore back in 4th position with Mike Benson there for 5th. This time by 3 laps to go now for Eddie Marshall. Marshall still in command. Donnie Grelis has him in sight, but now Marshall starts to open up ground. He pulls out to a 10-car length lead over Donnie Grelis. This time around, it's going to be 2 laps to go. 28 are in and 2 to go for Eddie Marshall. Donnie Grelis, Guy Sheldon, Chris Moore, Mike Benson. The top 5 start to stretch it out a little bit. In 6th spot is Rich Rickey. Up to 7th position comes Brett Hearn. In a race for 7th spot, Mike King going to battle him back. He regains 7th. That puts Brett Hearn back in 8th. Kenny Tremont 9th, and Brian Berger now completing the top 10 as the white flag flies. 1 lap left for Eddie Marshall. Marshall on his way home. The victory number 1 of 1997. A big cash payday for Eddie Marshall as he works up into the West End for the final time. Eddie Marshall, the Marshall Oil Company, 98 of Pound Ridge, sees the checkered flag now. Eddie Marshall nails the victory. Donnie Grelis finishes 2nd. Guy Sheldon in 3rd. Chris Moore 4th. And Mike Benson completing the top 5. So there you have our 2nd modified feature of the evening. The $5,000 payday claimed by Eddie Marshall.
With the Marshall Oil number 98. We'll wait for Eddie to get out of the car and get a few words with him and our draw for the Fan Appreciation Award. Still yet coming up, the Sportsman feature, the IMCA modified feature if time permits, which right now we're looking at a curfew situation, and then we will crown our 1997 champions for the Sportsman and modifieds down here. We'll go trackside right now to my partner John Stanley.
Climbing out of the cockpit now, race fans, tonight's Pepsi-Cola winner, Eddie Marshall. The Marshall Oil Company, 98, visits Victory Lane for the first time. Congratulations, Eddie. It's been a struggle this year, but finally to Victory Lane.
Yeah, we were close a few times and couldn't pull it off. Starting to get pretty worried. We didn't have too much left. When we got in that first wreck of the first one, I thought it was over with going in the truck then. But the guys worked real hard tonight and got the car right, and the car went real well. It was exceptional when the tires were hot, and those restarts were hurting me at the end. It took me a while to get back going again. I'd like to thank Donnie Grelis for running such a clean race. He had good position on me a couple times and ran us real clean and drove a good race.
It was a good race indeed. It looked like he had everybody covered. Brett Hearn got up to 2nd at one point and couldn't catch it. And then on those couple of restarts with Donnie, that was exciting racing right up front.
Yeah, that was good. We're wheel to wheel. He's given me plenty of room. He drove a good race, and just thankful we won it. I'd like to thank Ron Hutter, Doug Olson, Marshall Oil, our sponsors and crew. It's been a long time coming, but I guess with more money on the line tonight, it was a good one to get.
Well, $5,000 payday thanks to Hauser Mechanical Contracting. This Pepsi-Cola feature has got to feel good to get you back here to Victory Lane.
Yeah, it sure does. It would have been a long winter. It's hard to count on 200 lappers. It feels good to get that monkey off our back a little bit.
Maybe develop a little bit of momentum going into the 200 next week?
Yeah, I hope so. And Syracuse, I like that a lot, so we're looking forward to going there on Monday.
All right, well, let's get the season up in gear here, and maybe you're on a roll for the balance.
Thanks, appreciate it.
There's Eddie Marshall, race fans, tonight's Pepsi-Cola winner here. And Eddie, there's very few names, not too many people. And we're looking for Cynthia Booth from Adams, Massachusetts. You are the winner of the Big A Auto Parts Busch Beer Fan Appreciation Award. You can claim that prize package of the racing hat, the racing t-shirt, and racing jacket from Howard Potter up in suite number 4 at the conclusion of Victory Lane down here trackside. So Cynthia Booth, congratulations to you. Another racing event lining up in pit lane. We'll head it back upstairs to Dan Martin.
Well, thank you, John. And as the Victory Lane accolades go on for Eddie Marshall down here, to the victor go the spoils. $5,000 payoff for Eddie Marshall, the Pound Ridge, New York Speedster. So he will take that check to the bank. And as John and Eddie just talked about, a little bit of momentum as they will go into the New York State Fair Championship race, the 50-lapper out at the New York State Fairgrounds on Monday. A race that Eddie has won in the past. Eddie has won the New York State Fair Championship race in the past. A kind of an answer to a trivia question. The father and son duo that has won that race. As speaking of Father Ernie Marshall will now move into the Victory Lane photograph shoot with the whole family. The family shoot down here in Victory Lane now, the Marshall Racing Gang. So we wish Eddie the best of luck out to Syracuse Monday, and certainly great to see the Marshall Racing team shake the bad luck bug down here in Victory Lane. Sportsman feature ready to step out onto the speedway now. The Team Go Ford Thunderbird pace car brings along with it starting grid. Up on the front row on the inside, the number 12 of Denny Young. Outside of him, the 117 of Jason Tompkins.